Hello, and welcome to my own personal Gunfire Reborn gun review tier list. Just to start out, some weapons are better on certain heroes than others, some favor higher fire rates, and some prefer longer ranges. More fire rates over damage, and it all depends on the hero and the in-game build. With that said, this is all my own personal opinion, so let's jump into it. Starting with the assault rifles, we'll start with the cavalry. A solid middle tier, nothing special assault rifle. It fires 3-round bursts, which can be a little annoying, but there isn't a huge delay in between the bursts. The third shot in the burst always crits, which is nice. B tier. Rainbow Arch, another solid middle tier rifle. It has a charge shot, which is nice, and you can do a good bit of damage with, but to me it doesn't feel like it's anything to shout from the roofs about. B tier. Crimson Fire Scale. Good, great, best assault rifle in my opinion. S tier. The secondary attack, you shoot fireballs out of the gun, and they deal an extraordinary amount of damage in my opinion. And as far as assault rifles, the DPS on this one cannot be matched. Fireballs recharge on crits, so if you have a crit build going, you can just spam them. Like I said, easy S tier. Dragon Chaser. Meh. It's middle of the road. It's good for fighting elites and bosses and constantly being able to lock on with the secondary attack and automatically hit weak spots. A tier. Lightning Blast. With this one, the projectiles feel clunky to use. You get used to it if you've been using it a while, but I strongly suggest against doing that. The damage amp on the secondary attack can be nice. The general damage on the weapon is nice, but it feels a little lackluster in my opinion. B tier. Big Hippo. It's a minigun. What do you want? It's all middle of the road, average damage, but it has a huge mag, meaning you don't really have to reload as much. You can just pump out the lead with the nutty rate of fire that you can get from it. B tier. Submachine guns. Let's start off the SMGs with the Star Devourer. The main perk of this weapon is that it doesn't have to reload, it just recharges. It draws from your ammo pool to recharge the weapon when the mag is getting low. Is it a feature? Yes. Is it a good one? It's not bad, it's just annoying. I think the weapon would be a lot better if there was just a solid reload animation for it. And the special perk about it got switched out. It's kind of annoying. It's going in the B tier. Angelic Aura, S tier. I'm not sure what else to say about it. It'll always work. Pretty much in any build. Insane rate of fire, highest base damage out of all the SMGs, a decent mag which can be boosted even harder with etchings and scrolls, and you can bang out crits and shots on weak points to absolutely melt. Embrace it and don't look back. Dual Fang has a charge up, which can be kind of annoying, but it does both fire and corrosive damage. I'm not too keen on it personally, and I would ditch it without looking back if I was given the opportunity to swap it out for something better. B tier. Scalpel. Solid Burt gun. If you get over how it gets more accurate when you keep firing, it'll serve you well with the double shot. It can do a crazy amount of damage. Easy S tier. Concealed ammo. It's alright. You can secondary attack to throw it and it'll create an explosion, which is pretty good for killing ads and doing high damage on target. I think it ultimately falls sort of in the middle tier of the SMGs though. B tier. The Demon Lore. I've heard nice things. A tier. On to pistols. The Sunder. I really wouldn't. F tier. Scorcher rounds. Feels nice when you first start to use it, but then it doesn't feel like it really scales too well, unless you really get a really good drop. A really good drop. It doesn't feel like it's up to par with many of the other guns that you can get. I think it's B tier. The Aura of Venom. You can just mag dump on the right click. You can get the Gemini that increases the mag capacity, and you can just do a crazy amount of DPS. Crazy. And it's so good when you just want to just right on the target. A tier. The Thunderstorm. It looks cool. It feels extremely lackluster. C tier. The Talisman. It feels nice. If you want to use it as a secondary to proc the effects, cool. That'll work. But if you plan on using it for constant DPS, you'd be better off looking for other options. B tier. The Prism. It'll pierce enemies and bounce off walls, so there's that. But it doesn't really feel like a solid weapon to continually use throughout a run. I certainly would not rely on it, and I would just avoid it, to be honest. D tier. The Glimmering. It's pretty much the Prism, but it doesn't bounce or pierce. It just hits something and then it explodes. And the explosions automatically make it 10 times cooler, so it's C tier. Shotguns. The hell? Yeah, I said it. I like it. Great DPS, and it's extremely fun to play around with. I think the gunplay with it is chef's kiss. It's amazing. A tier. The Illusion, S tier. It's pretty much the Big Hippo, but as a shotgun. You can do a crazy amount of damage with it, and it can carry you through your games if you just get one with really good rolls. S tier. The Argus, it's alright. I wouldn't really count on it to get the job done, though. And I would sort of avoid it in favor of other weapons. D tier. The Pupil. It's good DPS, but I find the charging mechanic on a shotgun to be a little tedious when you can go for the Hell, or an Illusion, or a Wild Hunt, or a Porcupine. I think I just listed every other shotgun except for the Argus. A tier. Wild Hunt. It's a double barrel, so A tier. The Porcupine. When you want a shotgun, but also range. It's not bad, but amongst the shotguns, I feel like there are better alternatives. B tier. Sniper rifles and bows. The Piercing Flame we'll start with. The bullets pierce enemies. It has good damage, and it's not slow to shoot. I think it's an A tier weapon. The Double Caliber, best sniper in my opinion. S tier. It has great reliable damage. The Ghost Shock. All right, let me just say, I don't really like this weapon. Its damage is okay, but it doesn't feel fun to use to me. It always feels like the damage is lagging behind other weapons whenever I get this one and get a chance to actually use it. I think it's a B tier. The Woodpecker. Your finger will get tired of clicking after a little bit, but it's fun to use. It has solid damage. It's easy to just scope in and peck them down with consistent damage. I think it's an A tier. The Golden Bow. S tier. It's a bow, and it's probably the best damage in class for the category. Probably out of all the special ammo weapons also. It feels rewarding to use. The projectile speed isn't too bad on it, but sometimes it can throw you off, and it just feels great. Like I said, it's an S tier. The Sting. Unlike the Golden Bow, this weapon doesn't feel fun to use. It has a weird third shot mechanic, and whenever I use it, it doesn't feel like it's worth it. It feels lackluster, and overall, in my opinion, I think it needs improvements. C tier. The Strike Wing. So the shots split up after hitting an enemy to hit others behind them. It's nice, but I'd rather have a Golden Bow. It feels okay to use. It's not bad. It just doesn't feel like it's reached its full potential of where it could be. When I use a bow, you're trying to hit the people that are doing the damage, not the ads, but like the snipers in the back, or the longbowmen, or the people in the back. So if the shots are just splitting up and hitting the people behind them, what does it really do for me? You know, if there's nothing behind them, so it just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it fits for me. The Bloody Drill, I think, is an A tier. That's all I have to say about that. The launchers. Okay, we're gonna speed through these. There's not really much to say about them. The Tiger Cannon, I think, is B tier. It has great damage. The Frenzy Shark, D tier. Shrieker, C tier. The Bone Dragon is B tier because of the CC on it. And the Justice is don't bother, it's Junkrat Simulator. On to next category is Injectors. The Laser Gloves, D tier. Thunderclap Gloves, D tier. Rainbow, D tier. Fire Dragon, C tier. The only thing the Fire Dragon is good at is just having constant DPS. It's something that feels extraordinary. I don't think any of the injector weapons really feel too good to use. Melee weapons. Alright, so in this game, I personally feel like it's better to shoot and strafe between cover. I don't personally feel like it's a good idea to run out of the open to get a hit with a melee. It's kind of regardless of the damage, right? Because in that time you can just go down anyways. I understand that you can come up with a build where it could be viable. I'm not discounting that. I just think there are much better and more effective tools without having to be in kissing range of the enemy. I think they're all C tier. Take them if you have an empty weapon slot and you just want something to have a little fun with, but don't expect you to carry you through a game. I don't think it'll really pay off. Alright, if you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you for sticking around and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to go ahead and drop your opinion in the comment section, and have a good day.